Hey everybody, I'm Rebecca Martinez, and today we have the fourth soup in our spring soup series. Today we're making split pea soup. So the ingredients for this soup are simple, but they are specific because it is split pea soup. We're gonna be using 2 pounds of rinsed and washed, sifted through split peas. We're gonna use a large amount of split pea soup because this is your main ingredient. It's also very rich in fiber and protein, and that will be making a lot of soup, so you wanna add 2 pounds worth of it. For our spices, very minimal spices, which is really nice. We have 3 bay leaves, a tablespoon of thyme, you can adjust as you see fit, and 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. We have our veggie broth, which I'll explain in a moment. Our aromatics, we have onion and garlic, kind of a considerable amount of garlic, celery and carrots for extra veg. We're using quite a significant amount of white miso paste for very rich umami flavor. So there is one step before dumping everything into the slow cooker that you can consider when making this soup. So the onions and the garlic, you can either toss them in unfried, completely raw, or fry them in a little bit of olive oil beforehand. This is completely up to you. Today, I'm feeling a little lazy and tired, so I'm not gonna do it. But I definitely think that frying them for about 5 minutes before you dump them into the slow cooker releases a lot of their flavor, so it's something to consider. So once you have all of your ingredients chopped and cleaned, we're gonna put them in a very specific order in the slow cooker. It really doesn't matter, but I like to do it in this way because it seems to make everything fit better. So the order in which we'll put all of our ingredients into the slow cooker is the following. We'll first start with onions and garlic, our aromatics, in the tradition of if you were to cook this on the stovetop. Then your carrots and celery, your veg follow. Afterwards, I like to add my split peas and give everything a really nice mix so the veggies are not sticking together. Afterwards, I add all of my spices and my miso paste. Because I like to then add the veggie broth, and the miso paste could do with a little bit of broth mixing with the water so it thins out rather than just dumping it at the end so it just stays as a large clump. It doesn't have to be perfectly mixed with the water because as your vegetables cook and bubble and boil, it'll naturally disintegrate. Lastly, I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but I do like to add some lemon juice because it adds acidity to our soup and more flavor. So for the recipe, you'll want to use 10 to 12 cups of veggie broth or water. I have about 8 cups here, and I like to measure it according to the level of the crock pot insert, just making sure it's slightly over the vegetables. Not too much, but not too little, because you don't want your water to run out. Then your vegetables start to burn a little bit. Rather than using store-bought vegetable broth, I'm actually using veggie broth cubes that are homemade. They're very salty, but they work just the same as store-bought veggie broth. So I add water and then my veggie broth cubes. As the soup cooks, they melt together. Once your ingredients are in your slow cooker, you're gonna lid it up. The bigger the slow cooker, the better, in my opinion. All of the slow cookers will be linked in the description that I like. And we'll cook it on high for 8 hours. But you can set it overnight or on low for 12 hours. Now your soup, the day after it's done cooking, I like to move all of it into a really large plastic Tupperware where it'll live in the fridge for 7 to 10 days. The soup, because it has plenty of split peas, will be slightly congealed. To warm it up, it's super easy. I ladle in 1 or 2 large ladles of the soup into a soup bowl, and using some veggie broth or just a spattering of water, I thin it out. From there, I like to heat it up in the microwave. Keeping it super simple, you can heat it up on the stovetop if you wish. I like to top my soup with fresh lemon juice, maybe some black pepper if I'm feeling feisty, and fresh parsley. Fresh greens work really nicely on soups in my opinion. Then to accompany the soup, because we're here and we're making more high protein recipes in general, I like to pair my soup with a single piece of sourdough bread. Rather, it's been in the freezer for months. And I defrost it on the frozen setting in my toaster and pair it with a homemade hummus. Hummus is very easy to make at home. It's only a couple of ingredients. You can use canned or homemade chickpeas. I like to use homemade, and it comes together super quickly. Put a generous tablespoon or 2 of it onto your piece of bread, chop it up, serve it, and enjoy for lunch. This has been our 4th recipe for our spring soups. They've also secretly been high protein, which has been really nice. So I hope you've enjoyed this series. Next time, I'm going to be starting a series on high protein power balls. All of my athletes and my busy, sweet, cheeky people out there will enjoy these because they're very convenient to make, high protein, and also naturally vegan and more or less sweet. So for those of us like me who have a sweet tooth, you will definitely enjoy these power balls. So make sure to subscribe to the channel where you will receive free recipes, vlogs, PhD content, or just even book reviews every single Saturday. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one.